What's up, everybody in the chat? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm gonna just give it a few minutes, see who gonna pop in. Then we gonna shoot the shit, how I do. Y'all seen the news? Did y'all see the news? Cause a few months ago, Trump said he wasn't gonna be giving Diddy no pardon. Hold on.
Being reported, but now according to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about giving Diddy that pardon. I will say the wording of this TMZ article is a little confusing, but they are citing that their source is a high-ranking White House official. According to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about commuting Diddy's sentence as early as this week. But TMZ cites this source as Donald Trump is vacillating, which means that he's not sure which way he wants to go. He's swaying back and forth, and he's indecisive about what he wants to do. I'm sure the wording about Donald Trump being indecisive on whether to give a pardon or not to Diddy is the fact that Diddy was publicly talking crap about him, because we all know how Donald Trump is. But it can still potentially be a big deal to know that he is even potentially considering a pardon for Diddy at this point, because he doesn't have to consider jack crap. The White House officials who are saying that they are urging Donald Trump to not give Diddy a pardon say that they are not sure what Donald Trump is going to end up doing, because at the end of the day, he does what he wants. We do just know he granted a pardon last Friday to another person that was in Congress. And I think with Donald Trump, we literally never know exactly what he is going to do. But all I gotta say is, if you're about to free Diddy, you also better free those Epstein files too. Guess we'll find out exactly what's gonna happen very, very soon. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. I feel like this is the
They ain't gonna quit talking about the Epstein files. And it's mighty funny, like I said, when I started bringing out strange coincidences between the Son Epstein trust they had over here, everybody wanted to miss the point. Everybody did all this on YouTube I'm still waiting to see how it helped R. Kelly. Because all I did and all I came to do, as I said, was blog about the topic at hand. And I think people be getting that misconstrued with the people that were portraying to be doing all this help. We ain't the same. We ain't done nothing the same. Let's get that clear for the people in the back that's going to come back and see this. They need to pay attention. We're not the same. Let's put that on record. See, if it wasn't for a lot of people who just jumped into this so-called fight, wanting to just come and have a good time and play around and do this and do that and ignore the common sense things that I was saying, but then wanted to selectively pick things that they disagreed with to try to get on their platform and make a point in defense of somebody else doing some janky shit. Prime example. How many people can just put in the chat, why was R. Kelly charged in New York? Because we heard all these people keep talking about one man isn't an enterprise, which we all know to be true. However, if you recall the jury instructions that was given to the people deciding R. Kelly's fate, let's look at this conspiracy element. If people came out here and told us on public platforms that they did this and they did that on behalf of R. Kelly, I'm kind of lost at why people be confused at why the target was the only person sitting in jail right now under the RICO. I'm confused that we hear this about Diddy, and months ago when it was an emergency, when Bo Brentley came in, it was an emergency. He was trying to get a pardon from Trump as well, right? That was months ago. But literally, we just got the reports maybe a week or two ago that Diddy reached out to Trump himself. Trump verified this on public record that he was in contact with Diddy or somebody from Diddy's camp. How is it within a couple weeks span, Diddy can be highly in consideration for this same pardon that Trump said he probably wasn't going to give based on the negative remarks that was made about him? But of course, everybody that's been in my comments lately, they've been saying, it costs money to get a pardon. It costs money. It might be strange, but they put the money man all on YouTube, right? Early on in this whole ordeal, some of you may have forgot, but it was reported that some high-profile celebrities were contributing to R. Kelly's defense. Then we had the Olsen twins come out and talk about this GoFundMe that they had that was shut down. Then I started to watch all these people come up with the fact that, according to them, R. Kelly didn't have the resources to fight this battle, so he needed the funds. Now, of course, as an obvious skeptic, with what I just said and all these people who greatly benefited off of R. Kelly, all of these people that are part of his inner circle, all of these people that got connections to the media and other high influential people, they faded to the background. People skip that before there was a surviving R. Kelly, there was a whole movement. And that movement was designed to push people away from R. Kelly, financially drain him even more. make it nearly impossible to really fight a battle, especially when the intent of the prosecution team was to pile on all of these charges. I'm going to go back again. Why was R. Kelly charged in New York? What crimes occurred in New York? Of course, we all heard that the investigation with R. Kelly started because these people saw all this stuff in Surviving R. Kelly. But let's put that to the side. What crime was committed that would give them the stage to be able to say, within this 10-year period, these predicate acts happened? Does anybody know? Because when you look at how they originally had the Jane Does, they had Aaliyah as one, and then they had 5 others, right? We know 2 of those 4 remaining were not in a 10-year period. Pause. We had a terroristic threat at the premiere of Surviving R. Kelly. Prior to that, we had a cease and desist that went out. According to these people that came out to the platforms, Lifetime ignored the cease and desist. According to the defense team, after all this was said and done, they knew these charges were coming. Now, if an individual emerges from social media onto these platforms and begins to tell us that he sent out the cease and desist, he presented himself in a way that had people confused in the fact that he wasn't R. Kelly's manager. And even that slight detail was something that I had to keep going back and forth with so-called supporters. To be honest, it's so much information that I've sat on, so many different ways that I've tried to give people who claim they were here to push the message the opportunity to get on task. It's taken a lot out of me to be the bigger person at this moment, because I was really going to drag a motherfucker. I really was going to drag somebody tonight. But I'm going to still do so in a way that's not the way I was going to do it. You want to know why? Because I believe in signs. So when I went to doing my images, and I went and the first thing I said was create me, my avatar, dragging a moose to hell. That was my vision for tonight's live. I was going to drag a moose to hell. You know what they told me? They're going to tell me, number 1, they can't create the hell image. And number 2, they can't create an image depicting animal cruelty. Animal cruelty. Now, that was a gag for me. That was a gag for me, considering all these zoo animals been trying my patience on this platform. Like I said many times before that I think they overlook, I don't care if people disagree with my perception of anything that I read, anything I researched, anything that was sent to me, anybody that I chose to expose playing with me and put the spotlight on the people who were maliciously doxing me. So with that being said, how much sense does it make to realize that a person like me who's just doing the research, trying to get an understanding to the charges, what's going on, the truth of the matter to the best of my abilities with the resources that I have to provide reasonable doubt for the people who want to know. I never expected to build an audience as I have, especially with the inconsistent way that I come live, the inconsistent ways that I drop videos. But at the end of the day, like I even told some of these super fans, I backed off many times just thinking or being given the impression that they were so here to support R. Kelly. They had all the information to free R. Kelly. They had all these people that they had connections to, but somehow, well, we saw how it played out in court. The problem that I have is the fact that people went to the court and they didn't put all the focus they could have in spreading awareness as they could, trying to be petty with one another, still doing malicious shit, and still doing the most. Meanwhile, I get on the internet and I got to sit here and make sense of all the things that the people may ask me, may send me. I'm going to show you something before I proceed. Because, like I said, everything I do is dated and can be pulled up. Every screenshot, every video recording, all of it. The great thing about Google is that you can type in names and it'll pull up pretty much all things related. Now, what I'm going to screen share with you is the fact that I typed in this specific person's name, and I'm doing this because I just want you to see just how irrelevant this person is to me, considering, as I said at the beginning of my journey, I really, really didn't care to involve myself with none of these people on these platforms. Because from my perspective, if they had all the information to free R. Kelly, again, I'm just making content. So it never registered to some people why they were so fascinated, why so many people were coming over here trying to throw me in all these different directions, from Cash Jones to the supporters to all of it. Through it all, my position has been consistent, the same. But yet, you've seen the people who were supporting individuals, if you read the paperwork, who found themselves in the paperwork. You've seen people on these platforms who knew they were being investigated, who were doing a whole lot of talking. The problem a lot of individuals had with me is that because they wanted to target one individual on this platform, and I'm always the one in between trying to be like, I don't know what the obsession with Dana is, but number one, if he don't know R. Kelly, what's the problem? Number two, the fact that everybody was willing to be cool with Dana at one point in time, and then all of a sudden everybody got to team up to go against him. What sense does that make when we were supposed to be here to push a message, and that was free R. Kelly? A message that a lot of people could have really benefited from, mainly because of the way they looking at this same difference between Diddy and R. Kelly. The shit has been weird since 2019. It's 2025. So I see the people in the comments that are like, when it comes to this so-called sector, this case, they don't want no parts of it. A lot of people detached when they saw all the back and forth. But I promise you, if you go through my archive of videos, you can spot on see where a lot of the friction was coming from. And when it came to Dana, he seen the shit people were sending me, because you have seen them go from platform to platform to platform to platform with the same shit. Same shit. The difference between Dana and some of these other weirdos is when he sees things, he addresses it. He tells his story. And it's up to you to believe it. It's not my job to defend him. It's not nobody in his chat job to defend him. And it's not nobody's fucking business to be sitting here doxing people in his chat, maliciously targeting people in his chat. And then when this shit escalates to where we are now with stalking, trackers, people want to act like, oh, I don't know. We have seen the behavior since 2019. It's 2025. I'm trying to figure out if somebody is literally doxing me, posting addresses that he thinks I'm at, posting where he thinks I'm working, posting my child, and then he goes on a platform and everybody's cool with that. What is the problem with me not wanting to associate or have them always trying to figure out a way to get a reaction out of me? Doesn't it look strange that they can say they don't know him? They can say they have no affiliation with him. But the problem for me that I've always said is I don't like fake shit. And that's that type of shit that I said R. Kelly should have got the fuck away from around him. That's the number one problem that I've seen throughout all this shit. Be careful the company you keep. Because if I decide that I want to part ways or don't want to have to deal with other people and I just want to focus on my content, and then 6-7 years later, people are still oblivious to the controlled opposition that was strategically put in place to keep people so disheveled. In the beginning, how many of you remember the people that were like, I'm not reading no paperwork? These are the people that want to compare themselves to me. The people that just wanted to get their kicks and giggles. They want to compare themselves to all the research that I put forth to looking up that they wasn't going to do. It's cool to share my shit 1 minute, but then when you have a problem with me, you think that I'm supposed to bite my tongue for some strange reason. What if instead of actually doing the research, reading the paperwork so that I could get an understanding to explain to my audience, what if I just decided every time they went live, I wanted to go live too and start playing back and piggybacking and critiquing everything that they say? I pulled this up so that you can just see right here how irrelevant this person is to me. Now, clearly, like I say, I'm gonna look at I'm gonna pull up Dana also just so you can see the difference. But you see, I'm finna point it to you so you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 reference points in which if I type in one Pap's name, that's what's gonna pull up. So that should give you a great insight as to how relevant this motherfucker is to me. But yet every fucking time I turn around, it's always a shot being thrown. It's always, she don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Because, bitch, maybe it ain't for you to fucking understand. I don't like this type of shit. This shit is retarded as hell. You mean to tell me the only commentary you can bring on this YouTube with thousands of things to talk about are the people that you don't like? So you just saw the 7 reference points, and you can see that, hell, 2 of them were recent this week. So before the 2 from this week, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reference points, and you can see The main one is two of them. So one of them is the original screenshot, and one is when I cropped it. So what I cropped was when she got on the motherfucking platform after she went and got involved with one of these protests and got to feeling some type of way. But again, if I had came live and started to critique how stupid their protest was, how stupid it was to keep linking up with these weirdos and then coming and pushing your live button and then telling us about all the stupidity, including having a naked baby on a bus with alcohol and all that shit. And you ain't hear me say nothing about it because I really don't give a fuck. But when that type of shit can fuel people like Larry Snitch 9 McGee to get on his platform and keep pushing buttons, and the so-called supporters who ain't reading the paperwork, who are, this shit is so stupid. This shit is so stupid. But just to give you a demonstration of the difference, look, you saw her name. Now let's type in Dana, and then you're going to see just how much shit either I screenshotted myself, what was sent to me, one of the two. What did I just say? This shit started in 2019. Who do you see right there? You see Phases, you see Dana. That's the first time people start coming to me mentioning who Dana J was. April 19th. And like I had said at that point, I had seen him on social media. Because in that time frame, that's when I was introduced to who Larry McGee was. Because at that time, people were bringing to me who he was. They doxed him and told me who he was because what he was doing was sitting on these platforms coming at everybody that was in support of R. Kelly. If you said something good about R. Kelly, 9 times out of 10, some people was in your inbox and it was from this weird ass group of people who came to YouTube calling themselves Team Truth of all things when they were full of fucking lies. They're now lurking around here under the guise of OCO. Just in case you see them, it's them. These people get on these platforms and put all this shit out here, start deleting shit, start scrubbing channels, start changing names. But then when I come out here and say, guess what? I'm just the blogger. It's not my job to investigate nobody. But I will put a lot of things on display so that when y'all do go back and look, you can see that I ain't trying to go out here and be like the other people. They trying to imitate me because they ain't got sense enough to see why I'm documenting it. Because they gonna come out every other week with a new story. They did the most and then came right back out and act like nothing. Then try to tell y'all that my screenshots, my collages were copy paste. If that's how you want to look at it, you can. But again, all of my screenshots, pictures, everything, you see this. All of this shit that was being sent to me. How much sense does it take that? How do you sit here and make a person to be such a liar, but then eat up everything you say that they said? I personally didn't hear what was said because, again, I wasn't tuning in to all these people. According to them, they said that Dana had said he had a baby by Ashley McGee and Rashona Landfair. So clearly, when I come out and present my point of view, I don't have to come out here and say, well, Dana's a liar. If he said this, I don't even address if he said that. The point is, he doesn't have a child by this person. And it just made me side-eye these people who kept coming out here trying to make it true. So when they get to doxing him, doxing his baby mama, doxing this and doxing that, for all I know, they could be just trying to prove if he got a baby with Rashona. But still, it's not right. So why would I trust people who are sending me all of this shit? Hello? So when I put it together and put my stamp on it, of course, that's to let people know if they got any questions, they can come holler at me and ask me directly instead of going in people chat, typing up all kind of bogus shit. Again, didn't know this bitch, but she doxed me. It was always something about Dana. It never failed. Always. All the way from 2019. Somebody make it make sense. While R. Kelly's being investigated, all these people had to do all these interviews, which some of them were good, some of them were hit or miss. What I started to screenshot and notice was, again, if people recall when Cash Jones came out, she was going back and forth with certain individuals. She told a specific blogger, Toxic Diamond, that R. Kelly's goons tried to run her off the road. I watched her flip-flop on a lot of different channels. And so I told my audience why I personally didn't follow up with an interview, because of some of the shit that she was telling me. Let's think about what I'm telling you. The way that I move forces, or I shouldn't say forces. The way that I move triggers people to come out here and keep their storylines and keep embellishing things and keep putting my name in the midst of shit. See the irony? They come out here lying, slandering people that they don't like. They do it so much so that they try to pull you out of character. So why would I ever take issue with Dana based on his responses when these people pulled me over to watch him? Let me take that back. These people pulled me over thinking I was just going to run with all the shit they said, run with all the things they sent me. So I put it on display. It's called checking your temperature, right? Put it on display. And I watched them lie. Watch them reinvent their stories. Make Dana such the liar while teaming up with people like the Olsen twins, Don Russell, Keith, Richard Arline. When it came to Richard Arline's paperwork, how quick were they to come out here and clarify it as quick as they were to come out here and play that Dr. Rogers audio? See, the other content creators, they hear, not Dr. Rogers, Dr. Rice. The other content creators, they hear this. They start to hear some of the backstories. But you'll notice when it comes to the R. Kelly part, they want to skip around it. But how can you skip around the most important part? How can you skip around that they didn't know each other before this shit? They got together supposedly to push a fucking message. And everybody want to stay getting mad at me because I'm the youngest one out the fucking bunch, telling them it don't take all this shit to push no message. The fuck is y'all talking about? You mean to tell me that you hate Dana so bad that you thought it was such a great idea to get R. Kelly's defense fund, which was a government trust fund, investigated, his attorneys investigated, The prosecutors are pretty much saying these attorneys are janky as hell, but people get mad at me because they want to get next to all the other attorneys just to make Dana look bad. So they can come out here and take a picture with Steve Greenberg. So they can come out here and take pictures with Nicole. So they can get all embedded with the defense team and put up this big front. And then show up in court with no fucking defense. Hold on. Let me see what y'all saying, because this shit just be taking me out of here. Taking me out of here. I do uploads because I literally have to think about the things that are coming out of my mouth. And I don't want to be live and just be saying too much. Because like I said, they never know the cards I hold. They never know the full extent to the fact that, like I just showed y'all, I could go and pull up every single screenshot, every recording, everything, date it. But whose job is it to investigate the fact that it's a whole lot of janky shit going on this platform? So, from my perspective, before I hit this video and get my little shits and giggles, you're going to have to pick a side. And I ain't talking about my side. I ain't talking about none of these content creators' side. You gonna have to pick a side as far as, do you believe R. Kelly is guilty or innocent? Because if you believe that he was innocent, it would be very hypocritical to try to put all the blame on Tasha K, Larry, etc., and leave out all the other pieces. Yeah. Let's get a little laugh right quick. Now that I've already set you up, let you know just how irrelevant this person really is to me. But because she wants to be a character in my script, I'm going to give her a role. When I get ready to. But tonight, I just wanted to get my little shits and giggles. But I'm going to give you your role. Just wherever you at, I'm going to give you your role. You bitch, you been waiting. Every opportunity, you got something to say. And that's cool. You know, it's cool. You have a right to your opinion. You have a right to give your commentary on my commentary. But we ain't the same, boo. You see me? We're not the same. Okay? Just make sure you know that. We're not the same. Fuck she talking about.
Point them out. Let's go. Let's say it, Jock. We need to have a roasting session. You and us, we go at it, do it for the world. It's so wait, nobody ever did it before. Let's go. I said I'm with it if you with it. Point them out. We looking boy, you slow looking boy. You might suck your toe looking boy. Don't. First of the month. Man. What? Man. What? Scam on that mess, nigga boy. You ain't nigga boy. Can I help you? Yeah. Wait.
Oh, shit. Yes, look at there. Hey, clearly, hey, you don't get that when I do my content, I drop receipts, bitch. So, yeah, that look on your face, I bet that's how you be looking, trying to figure it. Look. That's how y'all be looking, trying to figure that shit out. Ooh, you ugly bitch, you. You ugly bitch, you. Fucking ass, weirdo ass people. They forget that I hold the receipts. And I can push him out how I want to and get my shits and giggles. I can give my commentary on all the stupid shit y'all do, including looking like this. But I just wanted to tell the people what y'all were doing, playing all over this man's case. And you did. You did. Hold on, let me pause it right quick so I can answer your question. Yeah, you look like an alias. Cause don't nobody give a fuck about no damn flea baby, bitch. I done told your motherfucking ass stay out my chat. Stupid ass, big Thunderdome head ass looking ass bitch. I done told your motherfucking ass move the fuck around, ho. Fuck you talking about? How the fuck you gonna count? How the fuck? Bitch, the babysitter don't count. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck is you talking about? Bitch. Anyway, hold on. Where my mods at? I know somebody to fuck up. What the fuck? Hold up. Yeah, you gonna switch profile. See, that's some stupid ass shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's stupid ass shit. How the fuck you gonna get on two different profiles to type the same stupid ass shit, bitch? Fuck you, fuck Flea baby. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you talking about. I don't give a fuck about. Ooh. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. I clearly have said I don't give a fuck about y'all posting my pictures. What I clearly said is the fact that you are over here trying to one up Dana. You are over here steady trying to involve me in some men shit that I don't give a fuck about. The stupid bitches that follow you can go to fucking hell too. Did I miss anything? Yeah. What the fuck does my pictures have to do with R. Kelly? Yeah. Run with that part. Tell the people why you keep posting my pictures. Because what's the relevancy? Let's see. Keep talking. Let's tell the people. Because some of these hoes had a problem with my pictures early on. So I used the avatar. So I guess they felt like because I used the avatar, I had a problem with showing my face, getting on live. No, bitch. I had told my audience ample times. What I project, what I show ain't about me. I ain't the topic. Y'all tried to make me the topic. So y'all gonna get a role too. You gonna get a role. Yep, you gonna get a role. Just call me the Black Widow around this bitch. I'm passing out roles like Oprah. You get a role. That Thunderhawk, that motherfucker right there, he getting a role. The Leprechaun getting a role. Everybody getting a role around this bitch. Anywho, I was looking for another comment. I ain't even see a bitch in here. Yeah, mods. Hey, make sure you handle my light work. Handle my light work. Where that damn comment go? Hold on. Yeah, I'm telling you, they don't like pretty. They like ugly. Throwback 304s at that. Okay, there you go. There go the comment I was looking for. She said, I just don't understand how he was found guilty for a crime that he was acquitted for 9 years earlier. Because as I was explaining a while ago, my perception only, because I know these dumb motherfuckers ain't gonna tell you. It was the strategy. Like I said, the biggest things that I had to get over for my comfort was the Aaliyah situation and the tape situation, of course. So when it came to the tape situation, once I got to digging and seeing all the different stuff, and if you've seen my last video or if you go back and watch it later, you will notice I pointed out in one of the articles, it mentions that security footage saw so-called victims trying to escape from R. Kelly's mansion. When from what I perceived, what I got was that a specific accuser by the name of Geronda Pace was hopping over the fence to get into the mansion, not the other way around trying to escape. So the fact that people weren't focused on the correct information and pushing that as much as you see these people like the stupid hoes that jump in my comments, they just want to keep trying to provoke responses because they feel like they're more relevant than they are. The only relevance they have from my perspective is the fact that they aided individuals who infiltrated and interfered with R. Kelly's due process. Then they marched around here talking about some civil rights violations when I've already told you a lot of these people thought he was on that tape. So with that being said, if I knew from the beginning, even the way they put Surviving R. Kelly together, a lot of people didn't even want to watch Surviving R. Kelly. But again, how can you fight against all of the things coming at you if you don't observe what's going on? It's kind of like when people were bringing me the stuff that these weirdos were posting about me. If I didn't see it, I wouldn't know why people are coming at me all over the place. Because like I said, if I screenshotted things that they were involved in, I didn't come out here and make an accusation specifically against anybody until I started to see the deviant behavior with specific individuals. Then I said, yeah, they ass need to be investigated, and I stand on it. But put that to the side. As far as the tape, if you watch the tape, you can take away major notes. You could take away the Aaliyah situation. You can take away the tape. You can take away Azriel. Now, with that being said, if I knew the major focus points that they were driving home, but he married Aaliyah, but he was on that tape, And then we need Azriel Clary, the current situation, to come in. And now we need to backdate and say, well, she was a minor at this time. And even though the savages came out here and pretty much told us, oh, well, we heard he's doing all this and he was abusing minors, but he's operating within the law now. But then they can go get with an attorney to strategize how to trump up these charges. So if you notice from the first trial, they had this janky tape. The second, they didn't have all that evidence they claimed they had. Didn't Michael Avenatti say he had 4 tapes? Didn't Gloria Allred said she had 3? Where was they at? Didn't they say they had 100 devices? So the point was, the same way they had their security footage talking about accusers were trying to hop over the fence to escape. Did everybody miss why I kept saying, why don't they have any security footage of this tape being made? The man had security cameras even back then. Where's that footage? Why we got to keep hearing about these tapes that were passed around from Jim Derogatis to this person, to this person, to that person, copies made over here, copies sold on the street, and then they want to come back out here and say R. Kelly obstructed justice? Nigga, please. I don't believe that shit. I'm just saying. So what I've been telling you is the strategies these people had to put in play to get R. Kelly. The strategies they had to implement to keep people from talking like I'm talking to you now. The people who want to come into the picture and act like they so relevant, but they're not. They're not. Like I said, the only relevancy they have from me is the fact that I feel they need to be investigated for all the deviant behavior they put on display. And they justify their behaviors. And as you saw in the chat a while ago, who named the first they throw in there? But Dana, listen, Dana is a grown motherfucking man. So if you feel justified coming at me because you got an issue with him, again, that's a reflection of you that I let you expose. So again, do you really think that I have a problem with anybody displaying my public pictures? See, the difference between my pictures is they're professional pictures. I was paid as a model. Meanwhile, these old throwback hoes and flea baby wannabes and babysitters and all that, they out here sending they naked pictures and everything for nothing. So let's make it make sense. If I have put my photos all over the web, why would I have a problem with somebody else posting it? Why? See, you let them come out and expose themselves. That's my strategy every time. I don't have a problem with them posting my pictures. The point I've always tried to demonstrate is what is the relevancy? So they then came out after posting my pictures, if you can see right there, let me zoom in so you can see it, because they always like to be with this stupid ass bullshit. Oh shit. Oh, I can't zoom in. This on the video. But if you see right here, that's my picture. And that was a fake ass article that they had put in a website called Scandal Media, in which they had me, Dana, Don, and Levi. And the title was R. Kelly supporters secretly working against him. Now, I ain't the smartest person in the world, but again, when I started to see stupid ass shit like this is how I knew their intent. So people can keep coming out here trying to play the 50, like, oh, they don't know why I keep doing this and why I keep doing that and why I respond the way I do. They know. They know. But like I said, you would be a fool to reveal your whole hand. They sitting over here playing checkers, moving piece by piece. Bitch, I'm moving across the board on your ass. Look at what they said in the chat. They said something about I'm mad about my pictures being shown. So when that didn't make me mad, what did they then do? They started posting my child. Posting me on a dildo. All kind of weird shit. So what do you think I'm mad about? Do you really think it's my picture or the behavior that I'm letting them expose to you? So how do I know it wasn't people like this doing shit like this to individuals that led them to cooperating? How do I know? I mean, after all, one of the first things that caught my attention from Cash, from Toxic, was when she said, R. Kelly's goons tried to run me off the road. Why? The first thing you see these men on these platforms do when they get mad at women is try to show their nudes. For me, you can't show no nudes because I don't do shit like that, but you can post my professional pictures and you can post my, I guess you could say, thirst traps that I posted on social media, again, in the same time frame that I was modeling. So what point can you prove? How can you make me mad posting pictures I took in 2014, 2013, 2015 in retaliation to me putting y'all on blast for the shit y'all doing involved in this case? The people that individuals were trying to protect on these platforms. Yeah. Don't believe me? Let's look at what the dumb bitch. You can see just how long this shit been going on. I'm going to show you. Because these people just come out here and lie. I could just go type their name in my Google. What is that? My son. That's the real reason he got locked up in New York. But again, he'll come to these platforms and just tell these bogus ass lies, and people will be all down to you the type of shit these people were doing and made me side-eye them. So as I said in my video with Geronda Pace, if we all knew she wasn't credible, if they could have produced a witness that could have got her impeached or disqualified, whatever you want to call it, how much sense does it take to realize that trying to sue her from a fan club was dumb? Getting mad at me for saying it's dumb is dumb. Coming on these platforms, taking credit for the lawsuit, and then getting mad because it's dumb is dumb. Like, the fuck? The fuck? If people came to me and then get mad at my responses and then go over here to these other people on YouTube, I ain't even gonna call them no content creators because they don't create no damn content. All they do is create drama, mess, bullshit. But if a person comes from me, then goes over to an individual who's doing shit like this to me, what I'm confused why I'm supposed to care, especially when that person came from Dana. Like all these people that I know of came from Dana. But yet every fucking time I turn around, they want to talk about Dana. That's what I'm saying. That's why they get mad. That's why they get mad. Because they know people have forgot all the, they had so much motherfucking shit going on these platforms. They know people were going to forget. They know. That's why I had to keep reminding y'all. That's why I had to keep putting it in your face. Because even if you didn't understand what was going on, we are grown. Asking a question, maybe? Because when you click that live and start talking at me, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. When you get to typing on your wall, trust and believe, I ain't reading that shit. I'm just going to type this how I roll. I swear to God, if you ever look at what I respond to, if you ever go look at what they say and then look at what I say, I swear to God, you will recognize that I ain't even acknowledging what they said. I'm responding to what the fuck I want to say on the pretense of, bitch, stop playing with me. That's how that go. Okay? That's how they go. So you can imagine when people come to me talking about what Dana did to them, how my attitude is set up, because they don't know that Dana is the male version of me. He just go a little bit, he going all the way over the clip. Like I might just tip my foot out at the clip and just wiggle it around a little bit. Dana, he going off that motherfucker. Okay? He going off. And it is what it is. How simple would it be to leave people alone? Anyway, back to what I was showing y'all, because y'all got to see how long it's been going on. Because, they act like I just be making shit up over here. Posting my baby daddy. I ain't with that man. I ain't been with this man and I don't fucking know how long. But again, just anything to get a fucking response out of me, they'll do it. They got my son and Dana's son. My son and Dana's son talking about he can walk both these bitches and chew bubble gum. Well, bitch, no, you can't, because you dumb as hell. You're dumb. Dumb. Oh, shit. Hold up. Let me do it again. All right, let me go on down here. Hold on once. I hit the wrong button. My bad. Okay, 2020. So this been going on since 2020. And then as he jumped in my chat talking about Sylvia sending something, whatever the fuck he said, either way, whatever he talking about, like I said back then, the purpose in me showing what was put on the screen was because, again, I didn't know this motherfucker until Sylvia doxed him and sent it to Dana. Sylvia go to Dana and said whatever she said. He get on all these platforms and keep talking about why he and Dana police report, why he don't mention that Sylvia put him in a police report. She kicked the shit off. They want to sit here and put all the attention on Dana, get on all these platforms and be dick riding each other, knowing damn well they done called the police on each other. They done did all kind of foul shit to each other. They can forgive each other, cool. But how hard is it to comprehend that a person like me don't want to be grouped with a bunch of degenerates like that? Do you see how these other content creators talk about the R. Kelly sector? I ain't in no damn R. Kelly sector. I'm in my own sector, minding my own business most of the time until people play with me. It's just that on that. But there was another point. They failed to properly, in my opinion, defend this man, even with the tape, even with the fact that, like I said, how is it you get all the way to trial and the world is thinking they had all these tapes, but then you get in there and in Chicago, all they got is images from the 08 trial. So like I said, that to me validated why I felt they needed to Bo Brentley. Not only was there tampering with Azriel Clary in New York, there was tampering with Rashona in Chicago. So if what I'm telling you is that they couldn't get Aaliyah, she's gone, right? They needed Rashona to testify because they didn't have a new tape, right? They needed the person. When it came to New York, they needed Azriel. And we saw these same people congregating with individuals who were taunting them online end up being their moderator. And that's Sylvia, right? Then she came out here with her lying ass and told us that wasn't her on Azriel's page as a mod. Come to find out, ain't she using that same fucking page right now as her backup channel? Like, I could run through so many fucking lies these people have told trying to one-up Dana. But I'd be wrong. I'd be wrong. So what I did was put on a demonstration of all the specific points that had something to do with this case. Individuals involved in the case. Period. People scamming. So you can look over here while they doing all this extra scamming over there. And where did that money go? Because they told you it didn't go to R. Kelly. Have y'all noticed that every lie they've came out and told, they've had to keep coming out here and keep coming out here, piling on, piling on. She said, and that's another thing, like when I figured out why they were able to slide Aaliyah in, and it wasn't to make her a official Jane Doe. They already had the witness, right? Demetrius Smith. These fans on these platforms knew that. I don't see how they wouldn't know it if I knew that. You know what they did? They decided to come over here and lie to y'all. They wanted to tell you that Dana J was testifying. They wanted to tell you that Kip testified at the grand jury. They wanted to tell y'all all that bullshit. And skip by Nipplegate. Skip by all the extra shit they contributed to. Did Sylvia showing her nipples to Demetrius, did that change anything or help R. Kelly? He still testified, right? He's the one who allegedly, they're saying, bribed somebody, even though they didn't have anything to show a bribery occurred. Usually with a bribery, you should have some trail of money, something. But all they had was Demetrius Smith up there, and then they brought up a clerk who wasn't there at the time, so all they could do is tell you the process of getting a marriage certificate, which don't sound nothing like how Demetrius explained what he did. 1 minute it's a DHS office, but then you get in court, he bribed a clerk, he bribed an official. Who? Who did he bribe? Nonetheless, he said out his own mouth, R. Kelly didn't have nothing to do with it. But guess what? Guess what, y'all? Under the RICO, R. Kelly's tour manager admitting that he broke the law, bing, that's one predicate act. Next, the Mann Act. So while people wanted to keep getting on these platforms, going back and forth about minute details that obviously none of us would be able to fucking prove, even fabricating stories talking about the police was called to this hotel back then and he snuck out the back door and all this other goofy ass shit. But then, like I said, I don't have to ever go back and forth with these people. What I did was I went back, pulled up the news reporting from Grady, in which he clearly said the Clarys never contacted them. He essentially said that if they did contact him, he'd be more than happy to act. So the fact that I also pointed out in peeping from Surviving R. Kelly that they needed Azriel, I peeped why it was such a essence for Tim Savage to get Angelo Clary to come on out to the public. And after he was able to pull Angelo Clary out, from my perspective, they got to seeing that people were looking into all of the inconsistencies. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like me and Dana have been the only one doing the research. We have not. The problem is, like I said, I don't know most of these people outside of Dana. Okay? So whatever they did, they did. Whatever I did, I did. All I said from the beginning is I don't like when people try to put words in my mouth or misconstrue what I'm saying. Kind of like one wet mouth trying to essentially say that these other people that embedded themselves in the case didn't do nothing more than what I did. And that's a goddamn lie. I blogged. That's what I did. I received a lot of information. Some of it hit or miss, some of it pushed to the side, ain't got nothing to do with it. Some of it is still to this day gonna make some good content just because people fail to realize people love R. Kelly. They gonna click on these videos with content on R. Kelly. So the common sense that I've been trying so hard to get people to comprehend is change the narrative. Don't y'all see them trying to do it just gradually? They went from saying mute R. Kelly to now they're recognizing that his music is still streaming. He's still collecting a revenue, even though it's who knows where it's going. And now you see people pushing this AI shit like R. Kelly's dead. Meanwhile, look around on these YouTube streets. Where's all his supporters? Diddy over here, they over here talking about Diddy gonna be out in a week. Bo done had us hanging for about 3-4 months or so. He get an unconventional pardon. It leads you to wonder, has he even applied? You ain't not one time heard Trump say he done heard nothing about no R. Kelly. Let me guess. The press conference was supposed to be it. And people on YouTube trying to sugarcoat the fact that something just still ain't right. Something ain't right. They ain't got to say it. I'm going to say it. Something ain't right. Mm-mm. So while they be doing all this on YouTube trying to get their little role or whatever they trying to do, real eyes see real eyes. I clearly have a whole lot to do, a whole lot of other content to make. But the sad part is, the reason why I've stuck around in this whole thing is the fact that the same way certain people are starting to look at why all these people keep piling on Dana, it's essentially the same thing. When I saw people piling on R. Kelly, that's why I had to do my own research. What if I was just like them and they keep coming telling me Dana doing this, Dana doing that, and I just ran with it and started to do the same thing that I'm saying is wrong for people to do to R. Kelly? How could I come out here and say all these accusers are wrong when my real message was clear? Anybody who has been victimized should report the crime. The fact that I can say something like that and it triggers them, what does that say about them? Why is it every time I just say something genuinely like that, there could be people out here waiting to give their commentary on what I said? Like it's going to change what I said. Where's the private investigator now? Because that was another person. Did y'all forget? How in the hell do you have a private investigator that I saw through YouTube come on and start going at Dana? Meanwhile, we get to the trial, which is what I'm more concerned with, and it's nothing. Nothing. 5 fucking ass witnesses. They had all these witnesses piled up to present this notion to the jury. And even the prosecutors point out, this ain't a good look for R. Kelly. But I guess the jury was supposed to say, oh, that's R. Kelly. He's the king of R&B. Let's say not guilty. But everybody won't get mad at me because I say this shit stupid. You got a whole private investigator on here investigating Dana, but he couldn't go get no security footage. He couldn't go get no motherfucking real witnesses. He couldn't go get the people from the record label. He couldn't go get Wayne. He couldn't get half the people that was on these platforms doing interviews. But he go get some random motherfuckers that couldn't contribute shit to shit. But do y'all see the purpose in what I'm saying? It was always the strategy and how they were able to facilitate their need to get these convictions. So with that being said, as a person that don't have R. Kelly ear, ain't trying to get next to R. Kelly, what would you expect me to say when all I see is these people doing janky ass shit? And because certain ones feel some type of way about the things that I've displayed and the things that I've said, they could congregate together and keep trying to push lies and slander against me. But they want to say free R. Kelly. People lying on R. Kelly. But they get on here and boldface lie on other people. You got the Bolingbrook stalker over there who always ready to jump in somebody's chat, jump on somebody's post, and not hear the simple words that came out of my mouth all the way back in 2022 when Sylvia first sent his information to Dana. Because I think them drugs done took effect and he forgot. I didn't fucking know him as Debosky. he presented himself to me as Leroy Brown. When I then saw him on Sky Zone's channel, then I let it be known, oh, I never knew you were Dubosky. I've heard that name. When I show y'all that specific screenshot, and then I also show you another specific screenshot where I tell him that I don't have no issues with Dana. I ain't on no team, none of that. And then we see this clique form of individuals. Even the Porky Pig, Ratchet Randa baby over there. Never knew her. Never knew her. You want me to show you? Let me show you. Because I don't like people who've spent all these years on here lying, always trying to rewrite their stories. And it's mighty funny, a lot of people can clock the shit. So again, just like the one wet mouth, you can see her relevancy to me. One screenshot, and that's an edit from this one. Two screenshots, and it's really, these two are duplicates, or actually these three are from the same video. It's just three different shots, because unlike some, I try to get decent photos of people. I don't just be like them trying to look for fucked up pictures, trying to make it look like you look like something you're not, when bitch, you can never make me look like nothing I'm not, because I know what the fuck I look like. Don't give a fuck how you try to capture the image. The fuck. Anywho, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is her doxing me. That was the video. That was the video. All this tracker shit was in 2022. Is what the drunk bitch said, right? 2022. When they doing all this distracting, trying to keep y'all attention off of the points that I've made, and now I want to keep showing my pictures, as the stupid bitch that came in my comments came to say. Like, again, why would I care about them showing my pictures? That ain't what I cared about. What I cared about is the fact that they're here perpetrating, like they're doing all this work to help R. Kelly. They can't stay on topic to save their life. The ratchet bitch said clear as day she ain't here for none of that, but she always in the mix of Sylvia bullshit, and people wonder why. I'm not gonna cut the tail of a snake. That ain't how I roll. I'm going for the head every time, right? So again, let's just take a look at how irrelevant this bitch has been, right? Irrelevant. Anywho, it's just sad that people want to randomly pick. Oh, he doxed me, she doxed me. This shit, as you saw, been going on with me since 2020. Then highly in 2022, and it's just ongoing. This is what it takes to blog about a case. And you wonder why don't nobody want to talk about it. You wonder why the people even trying to jump on this whole Sylvia Dana tracker situation, they don't want to talk about the R. Kelly part, because this shit's stupid. This shit's stupid. That all these people on these platforms always want to give their opinion about some shit except what matters. Whose fault is it that a lot of people, they came into this whole community watching people on YouTube? But they skipped when I specifically said my research really started before all of that. I first started doing my screenshots back when Tiny Tim came out saying his daughter was a hostage. If you go back in my videos, you can look at it. 2016, 2017 is when I first started hearing about this so-called cult. 2016, 2017. So you can imagine by the time 2019 rolls around and Surviving R. Kelly is released, the people that didn't even want to watch that, you're even further behind my research. So the fact that people thought they could come tell me this and tell me that, and I was just supposed to run with it, is beyond me. If the major issue I said out of my mouth was the problem I had with Tasha K is, even if she hated R. Kelly that much and believed these stories, at some point she recognized they were lying, right? How do I know that? Because she started exposing them, right? So if you didn't follow how the dominoes fell and all these people were getting exposed, maybe you will be naive to why it was always in the back of my mind that some of these people were low-key playing both sides. So obviously I didn't trust nobody, including Dana. It took a lot of, questions, a lot of prying, but it wasn't about a lot of the stuff they were talking about. They were just coming out here making shit up just for the hell of it. People skip around, like I said, the same way they do with this tracker, and they hear Dr. Rice's name. How many of y'all remember they was literally trying to get Dana locked up on an SA charge? How many of y'all remember them going around here making a mockery of the Mann Act? So just to give you a couple nuggets as far as when an investigator called me about a super fan that he was investigating, and that investigator happens to be investigating R. Kelly as well, and people still want to sit on her and keep stirring up bullshit, justifying certain behaviors, allowing people to keep attached shit to R. Kelly. How many of y'all remember this Jasmine chick who was sitting in Dr. Rice's house? So the same way they were trying to trump up SA charges against Dana, they skipped around some of the accusations she made about Dr. Rice. See, that's why some of these people, they should have realized the harder you work trying to push lies, the stupider you're going to look. Because how would I look coming out here running with the shit they telling me about this Jasmine chick? Oh, Dana trying to set R. Kelly up. Dana got this girl that looked like a minor. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm pretty sure people early on heard me say that when I realized back in September 2019 that there was friction going on, whether Dana knew it or not, the only thing or the major thing that I held him accountable for was bringing these weirdos around R. Kelly. Like, that was just my opinion. Why would you bring these motherfucking people around R. Kelly at this crucial time? He need to get people to fuck away from him, from my perspective. But then when old Black Widow herself, Cash Jones, came around, spent the block, and told me her little story about how Jasmine got to the gym. And again, I only told you what she said. So when the sidekicks come out trying to windmill for Sylvia, because it was alleged that Sylvia dropped the location, because per usual, if you can't realize it by now, this 60-year-old woman, she has this pick-me complex. She says she got abandonment issues and she cut people off quick. That's a motherfucking lie. Typically, people with abandonment issues, they hard to let motherfuckers go, because that bitch, she be sitting around here just doing the most, trying to get validation, trying to be accepted. And then she got her lapdog over there that's always trying to pick up her sword. So the purpose of me showing you her Ratchet Randa's screenshots that's in my Google. Now, clearly, I have about 10 different damn devices. So if that little bit of shit is all that pulls up when I type the bitch name in, that should, again, tell you her relevancy to me. Until I seen her doxing me. Now, the reason why I keep saying that is, again, because if it could go from doxing, posting up people's information, if posting up people's kids, it can go from there to somebody actually putting a tracker on somebody's vehicle. How many goddamn geniuses does it take to realize why, if you looked at the red flags from the beginning, you'd be a fucking fool to think I would ever attend anything? They could sit on the internet and taunt me because they wanted to be clout chasers and go cover this story and still not cover the story. They get their kicks going viral doing stupid shit, as they said, making the shade room. But if these people are more laughing at you than trying to support and back you up, what does that say? I just feel like this whole movement, it could have went a totally different way. In the beginning, if some of y'all remember, the people that did come out and start supporting Robert Kelly, everybody had their own lane, their own niche. And what I observed was a lot of people trying to step in other people's lane, turn people against the next. Same thing that happened with R. Kelly's defense team. Outsiders coming in, stirring the pot, putting in position who they wanted in position. At the end of the day, this whole situation is tragic. And now that I done said all that I done said on this live, I ain't even in the mood to give one wet mouth no more energy, because this shit just stupid as hell, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Because like I said, something just not sitting right with me with this shit now. It's not. But of course, as I said with the last update, it's pretty much at a standstill. Pretty much at a standstill. But it's mighty funny that things are still in motion for everybody else. It's ridiculous. Even when Bo was dragging his feet with this whole Tasha K shit, I recognize that a lot of people still support Tasha K, even that support Robert Kelly. The problem is, like I said, this is another thing that you would have to pick up from the content. If you have R. Kelly leading you to the key person, Jim Derogatis, and you have people like Tim Savage who came out and said that's who he ran, that's who he went to. Then you have people like Cash Jones and Tasha K who could spin these stories. Cash Jones can write all these books. Tasha K can build her platform. So if you don't think that I understand why certain people feel like what R. Kelly is saying is mere conspiracy, and if you've ignored all the supporters that literally try to make everything I say a conspiracy just because they're stupid, don't know what a RICO is, I don't know what to tell them. So nonetheless, if Tiny Tim Savage can go to Jim Derogatis, who has wrote about all these so-called accusers, and people keep confusing how I could pinpoint some of these accusers. Again, doesn't that tell you that instead of trying to be offended by what I'm doing and how I'm presenting my message, you should have been doing some research? Instead of trying to get your shits and giggles, you should have been loading up. Because what you fail to realize is people are desperately trying to rewrite history. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. The only thing that I would have liked to see was people literally trying to change the narrative. Because if you can't tell, a lot of content creators, they put shit out there and it could be way in advance. It could be just their predictions. So just keep this in mind in what I'm telling you. If people who didn't want to research, who didn't want to read the paperwork, who just wanted to get on here and go live, if instead of putting their energy into trying to critique somebody like me, who they're not going to be able to tell shit, why couldn't they put that energy into something more productive, something more positive? Like there at once upon a time, there was people who just went live just to play his music. There was people who went live to bring some comedy to the situation. And maybe that's what some people thought they were doing, trying to bring some humor. But again, if your humor is based on your lack of knowledge because you don't understand what's going on and you don't comprehend my message and my agenda, you're only going to make a fool of yourself. Every time. Every time. Because let's say 10, 20 years from now, people go type up R. Kelly supporters, whatever they type up. The shit that you put out, is that really what you want the people to know? Do you want, when they type in R. Kelly, all they see is an abundance of disgraced singer? I said we had the power to change all of this. Because if you don't know that this man has millions and millions of followers, and the people on these YouTube channels, they don't even represent 10%. So when I observe the obsession that these people have, that speaks louder than anything I could have ever screenshotted and said. Because again, the purpose in screenshotting it is because I knew these people would start deleting shit, scrubbing their channels, etc., etc. If you don't know, this is the typical strategy in the industry. When they come out here and let's say somebody goes viral, they're going to come out here and do the most. They're going to get their clout up, and then they're going to delete all the shit off their page and start over and keep that cycle going. They do this shit all the time. That's similar to what I felt like people were going to start doing after they put in all this work to keep R. Kelly down. How is it the person that came to YouTube the loudest at the time, which was Cash Jones, can come out here and say they told these individuals she was R. Kelly's publicist? Then she come to us like, oh, she's not the publicist. But then all of a sudden now there's a book being pushed behind the mole in which it clearly again says R. Kelly's former publicist. And we all know that she wasn't the publicist. So again, if nobody could ever put on the record, document the facts so that people who really want to know can go look it up, what is the purpose? Because I wasn't the defense. I wasn't the investigator. I wasn't trying to get next to the man to get on the phone with him and pretend like I could do this or that for him. How does it make sense to put all this energy into a documentary and not bring no defense? We just supposed to believe that every single thing the defense tried was shut down, because people can't be real enough to tell you that the defense wasted a whole lot of fucking time. So by the time it gets to trial or closer to trial, certain things that they were trying to act like they were doing was too fucking late. Like, for example, challenging the evidence, challenging these witnesses. It's a lot that could have been done. Because as I said earlier, Greenberg said they knew these charges were coming. But it just seemed like people were more concerned with life rights. Who would be the power of attorney? Who I'd never know if they didn't bring the fucking YouTube. Then, when they bring all this information out, and then Cash come out and tell us, oh, R. Kelly don't know Michael Williams. And we see Michael Williams go do what he do, and then go to the power of attorney house, and they can't even be real enough to tell you why, under the RICO, R. Kelly might not have directly said, go do this. But they can say, I did this for R. Kelly. What part is that is not clear? If I believe individuals were coming out here deliberately saying shit because they were doing shit on behalf of R. Kelly, who did they think was going to cover that up? Why they put all the focus on Dana? Try to put the focus on me? go back and forth with each other, exposing each other left and right, and then getting on these platforms with these fake ass united fronts. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, because honestly, this is a little draining. Just thinking about all this shit. And I know that some people, I ain't gonna say all people, I'm just gonna say some people. I believe some people thought the individuals were really here and were gonna help this man. And that's what bothers me so much about why I took the approach that I took, because the same reason I started this platform, because the same reason I started this platform, I'm gonna turn my camera off. Hold up. Same reason I started this platform, because I saw these people piling up on this man. I saw the strategies in motion. And I just wanted to focus on that, bringing awareness on that. Who would have ever thought that all these people would be on this platform playing in the public's face? And now that it's dead silence, ain't nobody got nothing to say except for what this person said and that person said. I didn't start my platform to make YouTube my job. I started this platform because in today's society, do you know how helpless a Black woman feels? Especially when you know that people can violate your rights so freely. But if you don't have the proper defense, if you don't have the right people on your side, now what? R. Kelly fortunately has a name that will bring in attention, clout. Bubba down the street, he ain't got such a name. But because Bubba down the street might know R. Kelly, Bubba down the street could slide in the background while R. Kelly takes a fall. This shit is sad. I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the replay gang. I appreciate y'all too. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, just know we have a lot of power in our hands, and we have the power to change the narrative. We can't guarantee what's going to happen with R. Kelly. But again, some of us are here with pure intentions. Okay? Y'all have a good night.